Hey, on my Travel Ones podcast, I'm lucky to have Rachel Rains tonight as my guest. Rachel is a model, a mom, a real estate agent, and, a little thing called cancer survivor. So how are you tonight, Rachel?
Hi, Pete. I'm great. How are you?
Doing excellent. Rachel is probably the person, other than my wife, I've looked at almost the most, just because I get to look at her picture as a model for all of our clothing. So now I feel like I do know you.
Well, yes. I mean, a picture is 1,000 words, right?
Yeah, it's 500 pictures a season, so it works out.
Yeah.
How's life treating you today?
It's going really well. We just kind of drove back down from the mountains. I'm doing a lot of traveling back and forth between Denver and the mountains, and so we just got back down today, and it's going great. It's nice weather, but we need snow. So
yeah, it's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't, because you need the snow for dollars and for tourism and for water. But then,
exactly.
But then, as I know personally, driving in snow can really be terrible.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, my motto is keep it out of the city and keep it in the mountains, and then I'm okay.
Yeah, I hear you. So how is the real estate business right now in Colorado?
The real estate business right now, I mean, I've heard people kind of phrase it. I don't know if this is a great way to say it, but it's like the COVID gold rush. A lot of people are just trying to kind of get a little bit more space, and real estate prices are just, in my opinion, kind of outrageous. It's just very inflated, but it makes a really strong market. And of course, there's always more sellers than buyers, so kind of driving that market even more.
It's kind of strange, isn't it? I mean, I look at the stock markets and the housing market here in LA is the same way. I mean, the housing prices are going up, the stock market's going up, but yet businesses are closed. People are struggling for money. We need the stimulus checks, all this going on, but yet the big factors are still driving up. It's kind of strange. Right.
And I think I said there was more sellers than buyers, but there's more buyers than sellers.
Yeah.
But anyway, I know it's kind of a conundrum to see the two different worlds happening.
Yeah, because like I said, I have some stores that are going to go out of business. I mean, it's just a reality. They're going out of business. They shut down in California has been, in my opinion, excessive.
Yeah.
But after 50, 60 years, I have other owners that are like, I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this. I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah.
Because I still think, I'm curious to get your opinion on this. I think Americans in general, because I can't speak for anything else, but if we create habits for Americans, that becomes the way of life. And right now, for the last 9 months, shopping online has been a habit that's been a forced habit. But now it's kind of becoming a way of life.
Definitely.
And so retail sales are going to be hurt by that, I think.
All right. Well, and I hate to say it. I mean, I was kind of leaning more towards the online shopping before this happened. And it has become so much more convenient. And especially, I don't want to knock it too much, because when I was on chemotherapy, I would use the grocery service and they could just deliver it to my front door, and I don't have to worry about going to the store when I'm really sick, or I have both of the kids, and so it was so convenient. And I think that's just going to be the upward trend. It's just going to keep going that way.
Yes, I agree. Which, I have store owners that complain about online shopping, and I go, do you ever buy online? And they're, well, yeah, but only things I can't buy. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Right.
Well, you're part of the problem then.
Right. You can't. Right. I try to be very careful of that.
Well, it is what it is. How does the modeling business going for you?
The modeling, there were times this year that they were steady, and I thought, okay, I'm doing okay. And then typically the winter months tend to slow down, and it's really slowed down. So it's kind of like, oh gosh, it's been a little bit just feeling that clients are having a really hard time getting their clothes in. So shipments are being delayed, and then they can't shoot the clothes, and so shoots will get canceled, and then lots of things are being shut down, so people don't want to travel anymore or have models travel outside. They're hiring local models, or they're hiring like families that can book together, which I have booked a few jobs that way as well, but it's really just tricky, and everybody's trying to do the best they can. But yeah, there's definitely been a difference.
With is that why you? I mean, I'm just kind of curious. Being a single mom, and the whole reason the reason I wanted to talk to you tonight was because of the reason why it was so hard to get you on the phone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I know. Time just kind of zaps away from me.
Well, and that's life for a lot of people, right? I mean, my kids are older, so I'm blessed. I mean, they live on their own, but obviously I still remember the days of birthday parties, to one getting sick, the other one not getting sick.
Oh, yeah.
Their friends getting sick, schoolwork, homework, tests, field trips, the vacation days, non-vacation days. All of a sudden, it's play dates at the soccer games, soccer practices, lacrosse games.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and then
you're a chauffeur most of the time.
I told you, my oldest daughter was so happy when she turned 16 so she could drive. I'm like, you have no idea how happy I am you're turning 16.
Yeah. Because
you now just became your little sister's chauffeur driver.
Exactly.
She's like,
two birds with one stone.
I'm like, no. If you want to drive,
this comes with the responsibility.
It's all part of the territory, my friend. So, but that was, just so you know, like, how old is your daughter now?
My daughter's 10.
So imagine your daughter's best friend, right? And now picture her in about 6 years pulling up next to you while she's driving a car going, "Hi, Mrs. Rains. Hi, Miss Rains." And you're like, what are you doing driving a car?
No, I know. It's just going to make my heart drop.
Yeah.
Think, oh no, what's happening?
Well, now I have my daughter's friends that are getting married and have kids.
Right.
And it's like, whoa.
I know. These years really do go by so fast.
I still feel young until I see my daughter and her friends.
I know. I can't believe it. I just don't know where the time goes. And I know that it's so cliche and cheesy to say it, but to actually, witness it, it's like, wait a minute. I have a 10-year-old and my son is 5?
Yeah. How'd that happen?
What? Yeah. What have I been doing?
Enough. Enough. Oh, so let me ask you, how do you balance that? I mean, with traveling up to Vail and then model shoots and kids, and how do you balance that?
Well, fortunately, I have a good co-parenting relationship with their dad. So they are half with me and half with him and his girlfriend. And so in those 3 days that I don't have my kids, I'm really trying to fit everything I can possible just to try to get caught up. And I feel really, it's a double-edged sword because, of course I miss being with my kids and I want to spend every second with them. But then it's like, gosh, I'm so glad that this remote learning is just insane.
See, I couldn't imagine that.
Yeah, and it's like I think about all the parents that aren't getting that break, that aren't getting some kind of relief and so I'm thankful for the position that I have right now.
Well, it seems like it works out. I mean, I did the same thing when I got divorced when my kids were in high school. And so the week I didn't have them, we did a week on, week off because it worked out for my work. And but the week I didn't have them, that's when I had to get all my work done.
Exactly.
That's when I traveled. That's so then when I had them, when I came home, it was like I got a lot of my office stuff done, my computer work done and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, that's been my program. So yeah, but then my boyfriend now, he has 2 children,
right?
And so blending, and so their schedules kind of offset each other. So there will be times where it's just him and I, or there's times where it's him and his kids and me, and then vice versa. So it's nice though. It's nice to have some different times with each other so that we can all kind of bond in different ways. So, I mean, so far it's just been really great. I really don't have any complaints.
Well, you better not. You got great kids. You got a great boyfriend. He's got great kids.
Yeah. It's all really beautiful and wonderful.
You're traveling to the snow-capped mountains of the Rocky Mountain Range.
Exactly. Yeah.
You get to be pampered on model shoots.
That's true. Wow. Yeah. Exactly.
It could be.
I need to record this.
It could be so much worse.
I guess this is being recorded.
Exactly.
I
will.
I can play this every morning. This is what I can be grateful for.
See, there you go.
No, but it's always hard to. Sometimes you get stuck in your little rut, and having an outside perspective is always helpful to hear.
What's the biggest misconception about model shoots that you think that the general public has about it?
I think people think that it's more glamorous than it is, or sometimes people are like, "Do you get a lot of clothes?" I get asked that question a lot, and so on my Instagram, I like to do behind the scenes so that kind of people can see what it's like. And a lot of the times, it's the kind of modeling I do is catalog and e-commerce.
Right.
So it's like 50 looks, and you're just like changing one after another. So I've gotten very fast at taking photos, and I have a dancing background, so it's kind of like dancing to me. I just kind of get into my little set of poses, and I start kind of getting it all knocked out. But you're not using your brain to model at a great extent. But at the end of the day, I am pretty exhausted.
Yeah.
And I don't know I don't know where it comes from, but it is exhausting for some reason.
I always think of, like, I live near the beach, and so what I don't think a lot of people understand is, like, what they're shooting now in December is going to be for probably the summer ads.
Exactly.
And so, like, when we're going along the beach, and we'll see guys and girls in their bathing suits, and it's 54 degrees outside. Right. And everyone else around them, all the background people, all the workers are in jackets, hoodies, sweats, Uggs, and these people are out in string bikinis and board shorts, trying to look happy.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, there's so many of those kind of photo shoots. And one of my favorite ones was being on Loveland Pass, freezing, and our changing room was the back of the U-Haul. So we were just so in the back of the U-Haul, and there were no heaters.
No,
it was just, you're changing in the back of the U-Haul, and it's like, oh my gosh. But
so glamorous.
But it's right. But I love that you get to. It's always different, and you get to meet so many different people. I love working with creative people. And I like becoming different people. It's not as, intense as acting is, but I get to pretend that I'm, a great skier, or I'm, a doctor, or, you just get to put on so many different hats. So
you're not a doctor?
I'm not a doctor. No.
Shit.
I don't know what I did with all the time I had before I had kids. I should have become a doctor.
I didn't realize how much time the kids took up until they went off to college.
Right.
And I remember when I would come home for the weekend after being gone for a couple of days, and I didn't have the kids, and I'm like,
what do I do?
I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What do I want to do? I don't know.
I know. Do I want to get caught up in all the laundry? I don't know.
Well, no, I was more thinking of, man, I want to go fishing, or I can watch a football game in peace. I can order pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I should do some stuff like that. It was just weird. And now I'm back, with the podcast. It's keeping me busy. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, since I have this parenting schedule, it has very much been like, on the days I don't have the kids, I'm kind of finding myself a lot more than I had before. I'm climbing 14ers and learning how to be more outdoorsy. And so, it's been kind of cool.
So you beat cancer this year.
I did.
How much introspect was that for you?
Oh gosh, that's a lot to unpack.
Well, no, because the last time I saw you was in January, and you were getting ready to go through the chemo and all that, I think.
I had actually just started
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I had timed it out so that I was able to work on the days that I wasn't feeling so sick. But yeah, that is a look down your deepest, darkest fear hole, sit there kind of feeling. It's hard to get that diagnosis for sure, especially with the history of my dad having the same kind of cancer and how hard that was on my brother and I when he was diagnosed. So kind of reliving the same thing was like
real.
my worst nightmare. Yeah. And being a mom and having my dad not make it and wondering if I was not going to make it.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's hard.
And yet,
right.
And yet you still have to wake up and go to work and smile and be happy. And
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Unfortunately, I just had such a great community of people surround me. I don't know where I would be if I didn't have friends. With the doctors that I had amazing doctors, but I really truly believe that God puts the right people in your life at just the right time. And
totally agree.
The times that you don't have somebody, it's usually, I took it as times that, okay, I can do this alone. I can walk this path alone right now. But I always felt like I could get through it. So I don't know.
How much of that was, I always look at it like, you have small children. So it was like, you got to get through this. I mean, that's got to be
right. And you just like, when you're faced with it, they say when you have to do it, you just got to do it.
Do you feel you're stronger than you thought you were?
Yeah. I've learned a lot more about myself, and I've learned, battling those inner demons is really the battle that I need to fight, and just not giving into fear, not letting my mind go to the worst case scenario, or what if I don't beat this? What if this doesn't work? It was just you're walking into the unknown, and you just put one foot in front of the other, and that's all you can do. You just do the next right thing, and that's it.
I'm truly curious about this. Is there a time when it's been several months now, where you wake up and you kind of forget about it, or is it still always there?
I would say there are times that I've forgotten about it. Definitely. There's just like, I wake up and I'm just I go into mom mode right away, or I'm thinking, okay, what do I need to do today? And I definitely am trying to carve out a more consistent schedule of just meditation, 20 minutes in the morning of just breathing and being present and being grateful for what I've gone through, where I'm at now, what I want to see happen, in the future. But that's been so important to me, and it really makes a difference for me to do that.
Do you meditate every day?
I try to.
Okay.
I really try to. I mean, I would say I'm on a consistent 5-day schedule, but there's times when, I'm rushing to get my son to his preschool, and I'm trying to get Riley on her remote learning class. So, I miss those windows, and by the end of the day, I'm just exhausted. But if I can do it in the morning before the kids get up, that's like the sweet spot.
I interviewed a lady who actually came up with a headband that helps you get into the meditative state faster.
Oh, wow.
And
that's crazy.
And so she can do it on airplanes now, and she puts this on,
Wow.
I've always wondered, a lot of successful people I've met meditate. And it used to kind of have a negative connotation, at least for me when I was a kid.
Right.
Oh, you meditation. What are you, a hippie?
I know. I can relate. Yeah.
But it seems like a lot of very successful business people meditate.
Well, and I was just surprised that, when I started learning about breathing techniques and breath work, and I didn't realize that I wasn't breathing right, or, just how powerful breath can actually be to transport you into a different moment. So, it's important. And I wish we taught our kids sooner.
See, it's so weird you say that, because I say that about eating and food.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was a kid, you ate whatever your parents told you to eat. And then it was eat cereal, milk, processed foods, all this stuff. And McDonald's was a special night.
It was a treat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's not the healthiest of foods. It just isn't.
No, you just know that you're putting, junk in your body that's not serving you for your highest good. It's
weird how marketing, and that's why I was telling my wife now, I'm like, I just get pissed off that I was lied to, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Told all these things were great for you by tigers and cartoons and all this kind of thing. Oh,
yeah. Right.
And so I've had this talk with my daughters now. It was probably about 4 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago. My dad got sick, and then came down with Alzheimer's. And they attribute some of it to a lack of blood flow. Anyways, just basically bad diet for 50 years. Did him no good.
Right.
Oh my! And it's completely. It's not complete, but it's majority of it is reversible.
Right. Well, and I mean, I've been kind of on this big long journey of because I've always been a pretty healthy eater, and I've always, leaned more towards organic foods. And so when I was diagnosed with colon cancer, I thought, what have I done wrong? Because I feel like I've always tried to be pretty healthy. So there's been a lot of just research on more plant-based eating, more Ayurvedic eating. So I've been kind of leaning towards that. My doctor recommended Mediterranean. I've been recommended that. But basically what it just comes down to is, I think I read somewhere that sugar is one of the first substances that we become addicted to.
Yep.
And it's true. It's like we just start to crave that, and then it messes up our gut microbiome, and they start feeding on the sugar more, and that's what you start craving more. And it's just, if you're not aware of what you're putting in your body, it can do some damage.
Well, because I was wondering if you learned any new things, having to get through cancer, and meditation and eating healthy. It's like, why aren't we doing that even if we don't have cancer?
Right. Why aren't we preventing cancer by doing this? No, I don't know. I mean, it's hard. And even my doctors have said, we don't really know what's causing this. They're seeing a lot more younger patients come in with colon cancer, and they can't pinpoint what is causing it, and whether it's environmental toxins or, they're saying that we got my generation had a lot of antibiotics prescribed to us, which of course kills all the bacteria and not all good and bad. And exactly. So that could have messed up our gut microbiome. So it's still kind of being researched, but, I'm really trying to focus on not just what I'm putting in my body, but what I'm putting on my body. So I switched to all organic makeup because I started having really severe allergic reactions to mascara. And I was using like really nice mascaras. But then I started realizing that they had formaldehyde in it, and I started getting terrible reactions. So it made modeling tricky, because I go and I get my makeup done. So I just bought a clean beauty makeup kit, and now I just show up on set with my own makeup and I say, can you please use this? But household cleaning products. I mean, you can go down the whole gamut of things that we use.
Well, my wife's friend, she has two friends that one got breast cancer for the second time. And then our other friend who just turned 50 just beat breast cancer a year ago.
Wow.
And you just wonder, like, because then you start looking at deodorant you're putting into the breast tissue on the side there.
Right.
Like, does it have aluminum? There has to be a correlation with the products that we're putting on it in our bodies to why cancer's growing at such a fast rate.
Right. And I mean, I didn't even mean to do this, but just getting older, my scent has like gotten so sensitive. I can't even walk past some of these stores with these scented candles and lotions, and I'm like, my head starts to hurt. Or I walk into a room with, like Febreze, and I'm like, ugh. And so I don't know. I mean, I haven't gone to research it myself, done my own clinical studies, but I don't think it's healthy to have all of these chemicals being surrounding us all the time.
And that's what my wife's gotten really big into. Trying to get rid of more of the organic. I mean, and you know what? Honestly, they don't work as well. The deodorants.
Oh, they don't. It's so hard.
She fights it because she doesn't want to keep putting aluminum to the breast tissue right there and by your armpit.
Right.
But if you start doing Pilates,
I am seeing a lot of these. Right.
They don't work as well. What were you saying?
I am starting to see a lot more of a trend of more prominent brands kind of steering away from including these ingredients. So I just think we as the consumer have so much more power, and the industry will change if we start using our buying power to say, no, we don't want that stuff in our products.
Well, just like you see the fast food places offering vegetarian meals now.
Exactly.
They did it for money. They saw they were missing a good portion, a growing piece, and they just want to make more money. Yeah,
I mean, there you go.
It's all about
capitalism at its finest, but
it's all about cash flow.
Yeah.
What do you think 2021 is going to hold for us? What is your take on what you see?
This goes back to myself, my own fears that I faced within myself, and thinking, don't give in to the fear. So, I guess call it positive thinking, but I'd like to think that this isn't going to get worse, that we can, learn the lessons that we needed to learn and do the right thing, wear masks, and hopefully this all starts to turn around.
Well, I think, we're going to get the vaccine. That's, I think.
And the vaccine. Yeah.
Mentally, I mean, I think, I know for me, I'm excited about 2021.
Are you?
Yeah, I absolutely am. I mean.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I won't be traveling as much, so I'm kind of bummed about that. Because and business travel in general, like you were even saying, companies are looking at new and different ways to get things done. So whether it's more Zoom calls instead of less air travel. So
exactly.
If you own stock in airline companies, you might want to be careful with that.
Right.
Because they're gonna, and hotels are gonna have a decrease. But I think it's gonna make see, I look at it and go, well, I think it's gonna force hotels to maybe offer better reasons, instead of having a glut where you go to Las Vegas and there were times when it's hard to get a hotel room.
Oh yeah.
So they didn't have to do as much, but now I think companies are going to have to do more to entice you to use them instead of their competitor.
Definitely.
For the consumer, maybe it'll end up being better in some ways.
Well, and kind of, I guess rebranding. There's a cool hotel out here that's doing a lot of experience-based. So when you go to their hotel, you can become a member of their hotel, and they have a community workspace. They have a gym. They have adventures that you can go on ski tours, and you build this community. And then they have all these different locations, so you can go and have a discount at wherever they have a location at. But I think that's a really creative idea for people to start looking into. Is they don't just want to go to a hotel and stay in the hotel. They want an experience.
Well, like I said, I mean, that's a perfect example. I mean, they're going to have to adjust to make it where people will want to use them more frequently and for better reasons other than they were a decent rate and they had a room available where everyone else was booked. So,
exactly.
You know, and airlines are going to have to do the same thing. Why am I going to fly Southwest or United or Delta? You know, what are they? Maybe they need to be more on time and get better service people.
Exactly.
So it'll be interesting. Exactly. So I don't know. I'm excited. I mean,
yeah, I think a lot of good things can come of it.
I don't have cancer.
Well, yeah, there's that. There's always that.
My kids are healthy. I'm healthy. Yes. My wife's healthy. You know, we all got our health. I mean,
and that's everything. I mean, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything.
Literally, you know. When my dad got sick and then passed away, it made me it makes you think. It's like, I'm sure you've had some, like you said, moments of self-reflection after beating cancer. You're like, shit, man, I only got one shot at this. I need to make this work. Right.
Yeah. And I still have work to do here. I'm not ready yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and I think you're doing great things. I mean,
thanks.
It's at least as a parent, I look at my kids and go, you know, they're a direct reflection of their mom and dad. You know, and so if my kids are doing well and going out and being positive effects on other people's lives right now, I did pretty good there, and I can keep doing what I'm doing now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great balance to have, but it's a huge responsibility. So yeah, there's a lot of pressure that I feel, definitely, I hope I'm doing this right. I hope I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing for my kids and being the mom that they need me to be.
I always looked at it, and I still about just about everything. If I'm doing the best I can, that's what I got. Because I knew I was going to make some pretty healthy mistakes raising kids.
Yeah.
There really isn't a book. I mean, there are a lot of books, but there ain't a book on raising kids.
Exactly.
You know, I have two daughters that are, I think, 17 months apart.
And, oh my gosh!
And
wow.
They're best friends, but they're not twins. I mean, they're
very different.
Yeah, and you're like, they were raised by the same parents, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I know, it's amazing. What works for one child doesn't work for the other one, and it's always, I mean, it's the biggest thing that has pushed me to grow into a better person is being a mom.
Can't top that one.
Yeah.
That's a topper.
Yeah.
Well,
it's great.
I appreciate you taking the time.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This has been so exciting.
What's the best way for my listeners to see what you got going on? And you said your Instagram page is where you're putting a lot of behind the scenes stuff.
Yes. If they want to go to _8, that's my Instagram handle. And that's kind of where I've been just telling my story for now. So, yeah. And they want to go check it out. That's where they can go.
Are you a real estate agent, or are you investing, or what are you?
I am a real estate agent, yes. Okay. So I'm a licensed realtor, and I'm on a team with my partner and my life partner. And yeah, we've really enjoyed working together. It's been a really great journey for us. So
if you want to buy or sell a home in Steamboat Springs area.
Yes, if you're looking for a second home or a condo, definitely. We can tell you all about it.
I'll definitely put links, your website, your Instagram link on my website. That way they can just click right over to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Pete.
That was awesome. I so appreciate catching up with you. It's bummed I don't get to see you in a couple of weeks, but
I know. I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss Market.
First time in 10 years. It's kind of weird.
I know. But yeah, thank you. It was so great to catch up with you too.
Enjoy the holiday season, and thank you again for being part of my Women's Empowerment Month.
You bet. Thanks for having me, Pete.
Thanks, Rachel. Talk to you soon.
Okay. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.